The Joe Rogan Experience.
Myth number 2, well, I don't say myth, I should say rumor, was that this was something from some sort of a biological weapons thing that was leaked, right? Because Wuhan is some area, a part of China, that they actually do work on biological weapons.
And we've heard that loud and clear. And let me just give a little bit background more of my career. Back in the early 1990s, I got very involved in the whole area of biodefense and bioterrorism, biowarfare. It turned out I was involved with helping to interview and get information from some of the Russian bioweaponeers after the wall fell and Russia collapsed. We had all these experts coming out who'd been spending their whole lives making bioweapons. And it became very clear to me this was really a serious challenge. And as part of my work, I spent a lot of time in this area, and I actually, through a series of serendipitous events, became a personal advisor to His Majesty King Hussein of Jordan before he died on this topic. I got really into it. I wrote a book that was published on 9/11 of 2000 called Living Terrors, What Our Country Needs to Know to Survive the Coming Bioterrorist Catastrophe, and I think I bought 8 of the 12 copies that were sold in that year afterwards. And then when 9/11 happened, of course, then it became really prominent. And then I went on to serve on a group here in the United States that was basically the National Science Advisory Board on biosecurity, safety issues. So I've had a lot of experience in this area. And so I bring that to the table and I tell you there is no evidence whatsoever that this is a bioweapon or that it was accidentally released from the Wuhan lab. Today, with the genetics we have on these viruses and how we can do testing, we can almost date them, almost like carbon testing. So radiocarbon, you want to know how old a block is or something like that. This thing clearly jumped from an animal species probably the 3rd week of November to humans. And pangolins, these scaly anteater-like animals, are a very good source because we have coronaviruses just like those in these animals. And it got into a human. So, we've surely had a lot of challenges with that, but I don't believe that there's any evidence linking this to an intentional release or an accidental release or that it's an engineered bug. It's not.
My friend Duncan and I did a show back in 2012-ish, somewhere around there, with Sci-Fi, where we went to the CDC in Galveston, and we talked to them about that very thing. And they said the real concern is just actual diseases. It's not man-made diseases. It's just naturally occurring diseases.
That's exactly it. I mean, look at where, we could not have crafted a virus like this to do what it's doing. I mean, we don't have the creative imagination or the skill set. If somebody said, okay, I want to find a virus that will take out a lot of people, okay? This one, Mother Nature does it so much better than we could ever do it. And, whether it was Ebola, whether it's this one or it's antibiotic resistance, any of these things. I mean, you and I were talking earlier about the potential for chronic wasting disease to be a problem for humans. Mother Nature's doing it pretty well on her own.